Week 2 is in the books. For some of us, it was a tale of 2 weeks. For others, you basically just did exactly what you did last week, either for better or for worse. Jamal for better, Carrie and Steve for worse. You guys both moved to 0-2. But we'll start with my team against Gabe. I was talking a lot last week. I was feeling real confident after a 130-point performance. But I take an L here to Gabe, who had by far the biggest turnaround of any team in any direction. Went from looking like a sure 0-13, 14, however many games we have, looked like a winless season, was a lock for Gabe based on his performance last week, both his starters and his bench. But this week he puts up 128 points and even had a lot of strong production on the bench. He's got Raheem Mostert and Puka Nacua each on the bench. Each went fucking ballistic. So I don't even know what to think about Gabe's team. But I think it all turned around for Gabe when he made that hilarious video plugging Jerry Jeudy into his lineup. That numbskull only got 5 points, but it was a funny video. And that's exactly what we want to encourage from all of our league members. Get in the group chat, make some content, make us laugh. Maybe you get rewarded with a victory. So Gabe, I'm not too upset about you picking up a dub there because that was a funny video. You moved to 1-1. I fall to 1-1. Looks like my team might go as Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley goes. That's what happens when you decide to stack two players and they decide to play like shit. 9 points to 5 points. So I take an L here. Gabe and I both moved to 1-1. Moving on to Jamal against Steve. Dicking of the week. Congratulations, Jamal. And it was a fucking dicking if I've ever seen one. Nearly an 80-point victory for Jamal, 164 to 87. But Jamal, we're going to give you your flowers, but let's just pump the brakes here a little bit in the group chat, acting like Matthew Berry, breaking down trades from other leagues, assigning wide receiver 2, 3 status to players. Oh, we just got to see how it shakes out in Cleveland. Let's just relax a little bit, Jamal. Okay, you've won 2 games. Let's pump the brakes. You're not a champion. I don't see your name on the trophy. But again, I do like the engagement in the group chat, but just need to give you some shit there. Not sure if you've ever been a playoff team. But you're looking phenomenal right now, Jamal. There's really nothing we can say. All I can point to is your past failures if I want to talk any shit, because your current team is just utterly fantastic. I don't even know. I need to find a better adjective for how good your team is right now. So you moved to 2-0. Steve falls to 0-2 with an absolutely horrendous performance. Nick Chubb just broke his leg in half on national television. Steve, not only are you 0-2, but you need a new team name, and things are not looking good for your squad. Moving on to Bennett against Cobe. Bennett, it's only right. Your team name was literally started from the bottom last year, and you start out 2-0. Maybe one of the biggest draft blunders we've had in a long time. You actually let the clock expire on your draft pick because of a malfunction with your mouse, which was hilarious. But it hasn't stopped you. You're 2-0. Your wide receivers, you took like 5 wide receivers in a row in the draft, and they're leading the way for you. Debo, Justin Jefferson. Your running backs aren't good, but so far you're 2-0, so it doesn't matter. Cobe, you had Tua come back down to earth a little bit. I don't know how Cam Akers ended up in your lineup. You got Jonathan Taylor, so there you go. Cobe, you're 1-1. I don't remember quite what you did last week, but this performance was pretty terrible. If you don't even crack triple digits, you're going to get some shit. I don't really know what to say about your performance this week, Cobe. It was quite pitiful, but not quite as bad as Carrie, who we'll get to in our last matchup. But we'll move on to Cole against Chase. Pretty solid matchup here. Both of you guys go to 1-1. Both your teams looked really good this week. Chase, you didn't get 35 points from the Cowboys defense, so your score feels a little bit more legitimate this week. Pretty solid performance all around. Josh Jacobs not doing very much. A.J. Brown. Keenan Allen, though, 31 fucking points. Hopefully he stays healthy. I don't know really what else to say there. George Pickens, 22 points. Solid week for Chase's team, but you did take an L to the superior team of Cole Davis, who got 23 points from his defense. So Chase goes from getting help from a defense to getting fucked by a defense. The Steelers, who put up 23 for Cole. Devontae Smith went off. Patrick Mahomes got back to form with Travis Kelce back in the lineup. So Cole moves to 1-1. Chase moves to 1-1. A lot of parity in the league. That's what we like to see. Don't want to see anybody pull too far ahead, even though I guess it only is week 2, so that doesn't even really make a lot of sense. But as of now, in week 2, things are looking pretty even, and that's what we like to see. Moving on to our last matchup, Carey, 2 weeks in a row not breaking 100 points. Your running backs are just an absolute travesty. Joe Burrow, once again, that's what you get for taking a division rival quarterback. Your team's just not looking very good, man. You're making bad plays too. Romeo Doubs, what are you doing there? Dameon Pierce, I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. things just aren't looking so good for you, Kerry. I'm looking at your bench, though. There's really not much else you could have done. I mean, Jalen Warren did outscore Dameon Pierce, and who else did I just see? Fucking Christian Kirk. You probably should have thrown him in the flex. I don't know. You're just making bad decisions. You're not a very good fantasy football player, and I absolutely love to see it. Lipsky, you go to 1-1. Still not a very strong performance. 115. I mean, you would have beaten me this week, so I should shut the fuck up. But I get to do the recaps. If you got something to say to me, then you make your own recap. And I would love it. I would love to see all the boys make a video, because that's what this league should be about. We should all be talking shit, not only via text, but via video. Make a response, Lipsky. I want to hear it. Your team actually didn't look that bad. T. Higgins went from 0 points to 29 points, so that was solid. Justin Herbert, 22. But 115 is not much to write home about. But you moved to 1-1. Kerry moves to 0-2. And that's it for this week, boys. Want to cut it off. I know I went pretty long last week, but let's look forward to week 3. And go Ravens, 2-0.